Premier Hotel shuts down, staff laid off.
INEC won't surrender to security threat to conduct mock accreditation. Yakubu insists elections will hold as scheduled, ready for presidential runoff.
FG gives Kamara and NAMDA full powers to operate as trade unions, warns new unions not to behave like ASU. We are in court. No comment for now. ASU.
Kidnappers seize 3 persons who took 6 million ransom to free Osho victims. Demand additional 24 million naira.
No cause for alarm. Akeredolu clears their on state of health.
Youth protest killing of Catholic priest in Niger. Born police station.
Nigerians must be mobilized for productivity. Avegdeshola.
Atiku pledges to exploit Ekiti human capital. We will restore happiness to Nigerians. Okowa.
We are celebrating freedom, Tinubu says in Kwara, vows to fight corruption.
People using religion for political ends. Buhari.
Buhari, Awolowo, Dosumu, Adebanjo, others celebrate Ayoku at 90.
Customs sees large military police hardware at Lagos airport.
And on sports, ex-Eagles coach Broderick's a life support machine.
I prefer Messi to Maradona, Argentina coach. These and others will come your way on today's edition of Headlines after the timeout.
Good morning and thanks for joining us on today's edition of Headlines on OSBC Radio 104.5 FM Oshobo, Voice of the West, Nigeria. My name is Oluchi Amuda. With me is
Adiyemi Abodel. To convince those who have expressed strong reservation about the functionality of bimodal voters accreditation system, BVAS, the Independent National Electoral Commission is planning to consider mock accreditation of voters ahead of general elections. Chairman of the Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, dropped the hint on Tuesday in the United Kingdom while delivering a lecture, Nigeria's 2023 elections, preparations and priorities for electoral integrity and inclusion at the Royal Institute of International Affairs, Chatham House. Yakubu, who said the Commission has taken delivery of the entire BVAS for the election, said the mock accreditation is necessary to ascertain the functioning of the items for the actual election. He said on January 4, 2023, the Commission received the final batch of the BVAS to be used for the election that put the Commission on course to deliver and integrity tests on every BVAS to be deployed for the election, which has been concluded in many states nationwide. In addition, we plan to conduct a series of mock trials of the BVAS with actual voters in real time in parts of the country to further ascertain their functioning in actual election situations. Other sensitive materials such as ballot and result forms are being printed.
In the same vein, the INEC chairman, who admitted that security threats across states in the country are real and inimical to the conduct of the election, however, said the commission is determined to surmount them. Yakubu painted a picture of a severe security challenge occasioned by Boko Haram insurgency and banditry in the northwest, the northeast, the Niger Delta militants for increased share in oil revenue in the south, and the separatist movement, the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB in southeast, but assured the international community of sustained interface and collaboration between his commission and security agencies to surmount the challenges and achieve a seamless conduct of the electoral process. Professor Yakubu also identified continuous attacks on the commission's facilities across the country as another growing threat, but allays the fears of his hosts, as he noted that such facilities are being rebuilt and affected election materials replaced. giving further highlights on the eligible voters for the forthcoming election, put at 93,669,008, revealed that youth and people of middle ages would account for 70% of the voting population. He also said a presidential runoff is a possibility after voters cast their ballots on February 25 for their preferred candidate. He, however, said INEC is prepared to handle a presidential runoff should in case no winner emerge after the presidential poll. He said INEC had always prepared for the possibility of a presidential runoff in the last 3 elections, adding that this year's presidential election would not be an exception.
And this will continue your view segment. The reassurance given by the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, to conduct free, fair and transparent election this year. And when the time comes, the studio number will still be a point of contact, and the number still remains 081-8777-5777. Meanwhile, presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, will secure 25% of voter in majority of the 32 states to win the February 25 general elections at first ballot. The Atiku Okowa Presidential Campaign Council predicted on Tuesday, according to the Director of Strategic Communication of the Council, Chief Dele Momodu. The former Vice President has locked down the 19th state in the north to guarantee massive votes from the 3 geopolitical zones in the region. Momodu, who spoke during a visit to a newspaper house in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, expressed confidence that Atiku will win from the first ballot because of the massive support he has been receiving not just in the north but also from other parts of the country.
Still talking politics, the presidential candidate of the ruling All Progressive Congress, Senator Bola Tinubu, on Tuesday said his administration will continue to fight against corruption if elected into power in the February 25 election. Addressing party supporters at a rally in Ilorin, Kwara State capital, Tinubu said the party's symbol of broom will be used to sweep away corruption and other challenges currently bedeviling the nation.
And President Muhammadu Buhari has observed that some people hide under the canopy of religion to advance their economic and political agenda, adding that continuous education is needed so that the larger populace would not be hoodwinked. He spoke at Nouakchott, Mauritania on Tuesday while meeting with Rashad Hussein, United States Ambassador at large for international religious freedom, recounting his private meeting at the White House with former President Donald Trump. The Nigerian leader recalled Trump asking him, "Why are you killing Christians in Nigeria?" and how he proceeded to tell him that the issue in the country was not religion but rather criminal and the usage of religion by some element to further their economic and sometimes political interests.
The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, on Tuesday accused authorities in Ekiti of attempt to sabotage the party's presidential campaign. Addressing the crowd at the event, he also alleged that an artificial fuel scarcity was caused in the city as part of the play. Meanwhile, the national chairman of the PDP, Senator Iyochayu, has noted that the ruling All Progressive Congress in Ekiti State does not believe in democracy, or else it would have allowed the opposing parties to campaign without hindrance.
The Ondo State Governor, Mr. Rotimi Akeredolu, on Tuesday cleared the air on the state of health, admitting having some health challenges but not life-threatening, and therefore there's no cause for alarm. Speaking through his Chief Press Secretary, Richard Olatunde, in a statement, he said the need to come out on the state of health becomes necessary following the growing anxiety and concerns of the people of the state. The governor said he was never incapacitated and still discharging his official duties, contrary to speculations and insinuations making the round about his health status. The statement read that we have observed the growing anxiety about the state of health of Ondo State Governor Arakuni Oluwarotimi Akeredolu. The good people of the state, and by extension other friends and well-wishers, have continued to expressed concern over the wellness of the governor, especially since yesterday.
Always a leader. Thinking of where to get qualitative education for your child? Think of Global Leaders Academy. Our creche, nursery, primary and secondary schools are established in tandem with global standards with qualified and experienced teachers. At Global Leaders Academy, we have state-of-the-art facilities such as comfortable hostel accommodation with maximum security, well-equipped science laboratory, school buses, adequately furnished library, and many more. Oh yes, worship centers are available to accommodate each student's preferred religion. We also take our students for excursion on a regular basis. These and many more reasons are why Global Leaders Academy has been a choice school for parents who desire qualitative education for their children. Visit us today at Global Leaders Academy, located at Plot 1A and B, Oroki Estate, Lameko Junction, Oshobo, or call 0815-928-0037. At Global Leaders Academy, we are not led, we lead, and always a leader.
Three persons who took 6 million naira ransom to the kidnappers of 6 members of the Baptist Church in Ilobo town in Ayedire local government area of Osun State were themselves captured, with a headlamp saying they would not free their captives until another 24 million naira ransom was paid for them. A family member of the abductees, who identified himself as Sunday, said the kidnappers had demanded 25 million naira ransom, but we negotiated for 6 million. They requested that 3 persons should deliver the ransom and also insisted that the negotiator, who is an elder brother to one of the earlier victims, should also be part of those who would deliver the ransom. They directed us to deliver the ransom in Kogi State, while they were in Omuaran in Kwara State. The kidnappers called again that they should go and deliver in a Ekpe community in Kwara State, close to Kogi State. After a while, they used the phone number of the elder brother who took the ransom to the place to contact us that they had collected the 6 million naira and detained the 3 persons who brought the ransom until we pay an additional 24 million naira. Meanwhile, the state governor, Senator Ademola Adeleke, has erected an immediate search and rescue mission for the victims. The governor directed the police and other security agencies to take up the matter and ensure the safe return of the victims.
Premier Hotel Ibadan has been shut down with its staff laid off. The hotel, owned by Western Hotels Limited, a subsidiary of Odua Investment Limited, has been shut down since December 28 last year. When headlines visited the Mokola Hill premises of the hotel, it was deserted, save for private security guards who directed visitors away from the premises, saying the hotel had been shut down. And the Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, on Tuesday empowered the Congress of Universities, Academics, CONWA, and National Association of Medical Doctors in Academics with copies of the certificate of registration and charged them to fully cooperate in trade unions in the education sector. Ngige, who moderated the certificate issuance ceremony in his office in Abuja, hinted that the registration of the 2 unions followed due process, as the Labour Ministry received no letter from any existing union rejecting the registration of CONWA and NAMDA, even when the Gazette of the Union was published in the national dailies.
Angry youth of Kafin Koro community in Paikoro local government area of Niger State have raised the police station in the community in protest over the killing of a Catholic priest, Reverend Father Isaac Archie, of the St. Peter's and Paul Catholic Church by bandits. The youth were said to have been angered by the perceived slow response of the police to the cries for help from people when the gunmen attacked the priest's official residence last Sunday at about 3 a.m. Apart from the police station, cars, houses and other properties were touched by the protesters. The residence of Reverend Father Archie was burned while he was inside when the bandits could not access the building.
And the Lagos lawyer Bolani Rahim, who was shot dead by a policeman at Aja area of the state on Christmas Day last year was on Tuesday buried at the Vaults and Garden Cemetery on the Lekki Epe Expressway. A service of songs had been heard on Monday, while the funeral service was held at the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Olive Tree Parish, Ikoyi. And the line is now open for your comment on subject under discourse on your news segment this morning. The reassurance by INEC chairman that the election will hold as planned.
And we have a call on the line. Hello, good morning. Hello. Good morning. You're on to headlines. I think you lost that call. Please call back.
While awaiting your calls, the police command in Lagos State says it will deal decisively with any persons found regrouping at the Ganifa Freedom Park, Ojota, or any part of the state for any unlawful agitation or protest. A statement on Tuesday by the command spokesman, SP Benjamin Ondeyi, quoted the Commissioner of Police, Abiodun Alabi, as given the warning following reports of a planned protest by Yoruba Nation agitators. Alabi said that the command has strengthened its security network to forestall the regrouping of any agitation by any group at the Ganifa Freedom Park, Ojota. Besides, he said that detectives are deployed at all black spots in the state for immediate response.
The Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Abiodun Alabi, has warned political parties and their supporters to eschew violence in the forthcoming elections. The police boss gave the warning on Tuesday during a stakeholders engagement with political parties tagged stakeholders meeting on election security. Alabi said the meeting was important for the police and the political stakeholders in the state and to discuss the challenges facing all the parties. He said, and I quote, "The people's confidence in the value of their vote is principally reliant on the security and resilience of the infrastructure that makes the nation's election possible. Free and fair election is the hallmark of democracy, and we as critical stakeholders in the provision of security during the elections have the responsibility to ensure that it is conducted in a peaceful and orderly manner, which is devoid of rancor, malevolence, brigandage, and thuggery." The Nigeria Customs Service has announced the interception of hard drugs and large amounts of military and police hardware at the cargo section of the domestic wing of the Murtala Mohammed Airport, Lagos. In a press briefing by the Customs Area Controller of the airport,